2, there was Luke Cage Season 2, Iron Fist Season 2, Daredevil Season 3, The Runaways continues the 21st of this month. There was Cloak and Dagger, and there was Legion. I'm sure I'm probably missing a show in there somewhere, but these are what I remember. So, my favorite Marvel movie this year, probably Infinity War. I mean, it was 10 years in the making and build up, and it, even though it was only half of the story of what they wanted to tell with Avengers, I feel like it was, even as a standalone movie, it felt complete. Even people who had no idea who Black Panther was, or what Wakanda was, or who, the Guardians were, it was like, none of that really mattered because it was told so well. Each character, I wouldn't say they had like their own like nice introduction into it, but you were able to like tie all of it together so well, and they meshed it all and interweaved it so well that I felt like it tells a complete story all on its own. My favorite Marvel show of this year would have to be Daredevil. I'm really looking forward to The Punisher next year, which, by the way, it was announced today that it will be releasing in January of next year, so a month away, and we get more Daredevil, or more Punisher. So I'm super stoked, even though I'm completely already came to terms with the fact that it's going to get canceled after it's released. That's fine. I've accepted it. But my favorite Marvel show of this year was Daredevil, with Iron Fist at a close second. And I know people are not too keen, and they weren't too keen on Iron Fist, but season 2 definitely really turned that show around. Like, they really polished it, they tightened it, they made it a complete package, and I was super excited with what they were doing with it, and then it got canceled. It started, that whole wave of just canceled. So it's fine. It's fine. This is fine. It's fine. So my favorite villain this year, I would have to say it's a tie between Thanos and Fisk from Daredevil. Both really solid performances, really solid villain characters, because they're also really relatable. And I wouldn't say relatable, more of like you understand why. Kind of like the Vulture from Homecoming. You don't agree with them selling high-powered weapons, but you also understand his vendetta and the chip on his shoulder for wanting to do it and needing to provide for his family. So it's just those, you understand their thought process and their ideals, but you don't agree with how they're going about it. So Thanos and Fisk, it's a tie. I couldn't pick. But my favorite hero, it was no competition. I gotta go with my boy Tony Stark, because in Infinity War he stepped up when, and especially like pretty much any Avengers movie, he has laid his life on the line in almost every Avengers movie. Actually, in every single Avengers movie he has. After Steve Rogers had told him in the first one, I know the kind of person you are. You're not the person to lay his life on the line to, complete the mission. And he did it in the first Avengers movie. He thought he was going to die to get that nuke out into space. In Age of Ultron, he thought he was going to die. In Infinity War, he literally almost died. He had a freaking sword shoved through his side. I thought he was going to die. So, I mean, he stepped toe-to-toe with Thanos and made him bleed, which, other than Thor ramming his Stormbreaker into his chest, I mean, none of the other heroes were able to do that. None of them. Tony Stark, my man. I'm not even going to say Iron Man. Tony Stark. Like, Tony Stark. And I have to say my least favorite Marvel movie, I didn't really have any interest to see Venom. So, Venom. My least favorite Marvel show, I'd have to say, out of the ones I'd seen, Jessica Jones, because the first season was fairly solid, but the second one, it was trying too hard. I think it was trying too hard to capture that lightning in the bottle twice. While I understand there's only so much you can do with those kinds of characters and those kinds of story arcs, I don't know. I couldn't. It was my least favorite. My least favorite villain? I'd have to say my least favorite villain would have to be Bushmaster from Luke Cage season 2, or it could be the villain in Jessica Jones season 2, because I don't really feel like there was one. I mean, her mom kind of, but I mean, there wasn't really a villain in season 2. My least favorite hero. It's kind of a tough one. I think my least favorite hero would, kind of be the guy, Jessica Jones. And it's just, I liked the first season a lot, and I liked her in Defenders, but the second season, it didn't do it for me. I don't know what it was about season 2 of it, but I don't know. I just couldn't. So that's my Marvel 2018 wrap up. Like I said, this weekend is the opening weekend for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So if you're going to go see that, go check it out. If you are, let me know. Hit me up on socials, Instagram. Be like, yo, I'm here. Take a picture. Hashtag it with NerdHerder. And I'll be keeping an eye on it. And I'll like and comment your picture and see what you liked about it, what you didn't like, and all that. So this brings me to the very end of the show. This is the part where I plug all the socials and everything. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at SLNH Podcast. You can find me at slnhpodcast.com. I have merch. I will post a link to the merch in the doobly-doo below. So if you want to wear a t-shirt with the logo on it and rep the Nerd Herd, then you totally can. There's stickers, there's phone cases, all sorts of stuff, magnets. You can buy whatever. I'll post a link in the doobly-doo for that. You can find me on iTunes and Spotify and Podbean, Google Podcasts, etc., etc., etc. So if there's someone you know and they have, like, oh, well, I don't have iTunes. I'm like, well, he's on Spotify. You can listen to podcasts for free on Spotify. Go check it out. Like I said, Google Podcasts, if they want to listen on that. Podbean, all that stuff. So anyone can. And if you are on iTunes, if you could rate and review, and that'll really help boost me up in the rankings, really help out the podcast, and be super beneficial. I'm still working on the script for that audio drama podcast, and once I get more information out for that, I will be releasing it as time goes along. So look forward to that on socials as well. And also, like I said in every episode almost, if there's someone that you can think of that you think would be a good guest for me to interview on the show, send them a link to the show, tweet at them, direct message them, post on their Facebook wall, all that, and tell them, like, hey, check out this podcast, see if it's something you want to be on. And hopefully they will message me back and see if it'll work, if they're a good fit. So, guys, this is Tyler from the Scruffy Looking Nerd Herders podcast signing off, and may the Force be with you.